What's up, guys? It's Mott here. Welcome to the Mott Show on a Friday. Still traveling, but I was up literally at 1:30 a.m. in Italy last night watching the Eagles tie with the Cleveland Browns. A couple of takeaways, a couple of big injury updates as well to keep you guys notified on what is going on. First of which, bad news for Zech McPherson. The Eagles have their first really major injury of the entire preseason, and he is done for the entire year with a torn Achilles last night per Cody Benjamin. Expected to be Avonte Maddox's backup. He had been playing a little bit on the outside, at least against the Cleveland Browns, and had a good training camp. Did he have a fantastic training camp? No, but he was still going to be a solid backup for Avonte Maddox, who, as a lot of people like to point out, is often injured. And now the question is going to be who will rotate in as the next best backup cornerback. Do they go, Josh Jobs, move him back into the slot, play a little bit of slot in the past couple of seasons? Obviously, been playing on the outside really, really well. Seemingly was cornerback number 3. Do they move Ringo around? Could they keep Eli Ricks and then move somebody else inside? Questions that have not yet been answered. This is the first kind of big blow for Philadelphia. No, it's not going to make or break their season. That's no disrespect to Zech McPherson, but it still is tough for a young player who really was kind of in a do-or-die situation to get better this offseason and had done it. It's a bummer that he's going to go ahead and spend the rest of the year on IR. I'm sure we'll get an update on not only what they're going to do with his roster spot, but the official IR placement a little bit later on today. Now, there is some positive news for wide receiver Tyrie Cleveland and Moro Ojomo, two of the Eagles last night, who are carted off the football field. The Cleveland situation was very, very scary, and of course, all the the teammates came out, even some of the Browns players came out, gave him high fives. The update from Ari Mirov is a positive update. Eagles say wide receiver Tyrie Cleveland has movement in all of his extremities. There's been no update today based on what I've seen so far, but movement in all the extremities is very, very good. Obviously, there's some precaution there, but again, another bummer for a player who wasn't going to help them win a Super Bowl, but still had a fantastic training camp and a pretty darn good preseason. His connection with Tanner McKee, seemingly on the football field in the 2 preseason games, was maybe the best quarterback wide receiver tandem Philadelphia has at least shown us so far on a preseason football field. And so he is going to be out at least an extended period of time. I would not be surprised if Philadelphia keeps him on the practice squad at least, because he has flashed and shown that he could be maybe a call-up guy if he were to have some injuries at wide receiver and needed somebody out there to go ahead and help out with the first-team offense eventually down the road. A very good prospect. Thoughts and prayers to him. Him and Ojomo both seemingly are going to be okay. We need more updates on that going forward. Now, one injury I did not get to talk about but did come out yesterday was that Hassan Reddick is having surgery to address a thumb injury he suffered in Monday's joint practice against the Cleveland Browns. It's all going to be fine in terms of being ready to the start of the season, but still not necessarily the best thing overall for your best pass rusher on your on your football team. He's going to be not practicing. Now, he can obviously still lift weights, at least with the lower body. He can go ahead and still be in very good condition. My guess is that he'll club up the hand when they get ready to go ahead and get started against week 1 against the New England Patriots. But another minor blow here as Philadelphia is kind of limping towards the final preseason game to try to make sure they stay as healthy as possible and get out of training camp relatively unscathed. Now, this does mean you are going to see a lot more of Nolan Smith potentially, at least for the next couple of weeks here with the first-team defense, because he's the one that's been filling in for Reddick for, of course, the second-team defense during the first couple of preseason games. He did, of course, leave last night's game, go to the injury tent, and then was seen on the sideline after suffering an injury to the shoulder. That is fine, according to word on the Birds and Dan Zangaro from NBC Sports in Philadelphia. No worries there. Boy, did he look good last night, though. Nolan Smith, for his first preseason game a couple of days ago, definitely did struggle at times, didn't look his best, and yet you watched him last night, and it was absolutely, what you expected. It's crazy that 29 other football teams or 28 other football teams passed on this guy. I know they didn't have a lot of production, but the tape he's putting out there, at least against the Cleveland Browns, not only in practice, but also in last night's preseason game, is impressive. Now, is he Hassan Reddick? No, but they talk about being a mini Hassan Reddick, and I'm starting to see that. I think he could potentially be a mini Hassan Reddick, and it might give you more reps and more chances to shine with Hassan Reddick being out for at least the next couple of weeks. So, huge thumbs up for Nolan Smith. I thought he looked absolutely fantastic last night. One of the main reasons I was up at 1:30 a.m. here in the Amalfi Coast was just due to the fact that I wanted to see Nolan Smith play football, and boy, was that very, very exciting. Okay, we got to mention at least Marcus Mariota and Tanner McKee last night. I watched the same Marcus Mariota you guys did. I'm just as upset as you guys are, but we got to at least pump the brakes here on this whole idea that McKee is going to be named the backup quarterback tomorrow or next week or for the final preseason game or, heaven forbid, for week 1. It's not going to happen. Now, Mariota has struggled, at least in the preseason games. He's looked good, especially in the joint practices against the Cleveland Browns. And what people seem to be forgetting is that it's the preseason. There's no game planning here. They're not putting together a game plan that, benefits Marcus Mariota's skill set. This is not what Philadelphia did when they lost Carson Wentz and inserted Nick Foles and started running his favorite RPO plays, right? If you put Marcus Mariota with a first-team offensive line, a first-team running game, first-team wide receivers, and an actual game plan, he will look much better. I promise you that. I'm not going to take anything away from Tanner McKee. He was absolutely fantastic the first couple of games, but you cannot take a Super Bowl caliber roster and put it in the hands of a rookie late round draft pick out of Stanford. You just can't do it, at least not yet. Now, in the future, maybe McKee can potentially be, that's great quarterback factory, Nick Foles 2.0. I've seen those rumors out there. Goodness gracious, it's ridiculous. But the fact that people are saying Marcus Mariota should be cut, or Marcus Mariota is going to be demoted is ridiculous on its head, because you're not seeing Mariota with the first team offense. If he was with the first team offense, much like when Dallas played Philadelphia and it was the Gardner Minshew show, they had a game plan in there, and with the starters, he looked a lot better than he did during preseason. So nothing to take away from the fact that McKee's look great and that Mariota has definitely struggled, but at the same time, pump the brakes a little bit there, because, again, it's preseason and the game planning is a little bit different. Now, McKee, again, has played fantastic, and he's been earned every right to potentially at least be in a battle, or at least an open call here, but he will most likely be quarterback 3, at least for this season. Afterwards, you can get rid of Mariota, bump up McKee, and you have your Nick Foles 2.0 that people on Twitter are absolutely raving about. Now, final thoughts here on a couple of players. Sidney Brown, he was really good last night. It continues to show that speed. He seems to be a little bit too aggressive at times, in my opinion. Not that that's a bad thing, but he can get lost just a little bit in a couple of coverages last night. Nothing major, though. I think his physicality is his biggest overall strength, and he is going to really push to start week 1. I think he's trending in that direction, especially from what we saw this past evening. I do think the running back spot is pretty much set up. I would be absolutely shocked if Philadelphia is going to keep Trey Sermon. The fumble is definitely going to be, a tough loss for him. I think he is going to go ahead and be let go. They're going to keep Rashad Penny. He kind of proved that again last night, and absolutely no worries about his ability to be, a fourth running back on this roster, and somebody who can take the load off of the load off of Boston, or Kenny Gainwell, or obviously the load of a DeAndre Swift if needed. So again, did we learn a ton last night? No, but we did see a football team that looked a little bit better than they did in that opening preseason game. As I saw from Nolan Smith and the rest of the rookies, I think Philadelphia is going to have a very, very, very good roster, as we continue to talk about, and a very tough next couple of weeks trying to get that roster from 90 down to 53 with 16 to 17 practice squad spots open as well. Third preseason game, I think we're going to see Jalen Hurts and the rest of the offense. I'm pumped for that. I'll be back in the States for that as well, for a live stream with myself and Josh Davis. Be sure to subscribe, and I'm going to get ready for that. If you have Venmo'd me to be a part of the Fantasy Football League and have not gotten a sign up yet, let me know down below in the comment section. I think I have everybody, and Josh's league has everybody as well, but if I have not got you or I missed you, it's hard to track down all the Venmos. Let me know down below and make sure to get you guys up there and in the fantasy league that's drafting next Sunday. All right, ultimate for today in this edition, Toss Mott Show. A little less production, obviously, traveling on the Amalfi Coast, going up to Lake Como tomorrow. Going to be there till Wednesday. Plenty more stuff happening, though, the next couple of days or weeks. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.